Welcome back to Anything Goes ASMR. No rules, no limits, just tingles. Today, we will be reading my book that you can be able to purchase online at Amazon. Ebook, paperback, hardcover, and audiobook. The story is called Chasing Phoenix Forever. Chasing dreams, escaping corporate hell, and finding yourself. Sometimes all it takes is one leap into the unknown. Fast-paced, heartfelt, and brimming with action, Chasing Phoenix Forever is a tale of escaping the rat race, intergalactic adventure, and second chances. Chapter 1. The Accident. A highway stretched endlessly under a dark sky. Chase gripped the steering wheel, eyes narrowed against the glare of rain-speckled headlights. The forest on either side blurred, dark shadows whipping by as he hurtled forward, the only soul on this desolate stretch of road. The winding road stretched on, shrouded in a misty fog that made the trees seem like towering silent shadows. Come on, you got this. Just a little farther, and you'll reach that cabin. Chase white-knuckled the steering wheel, eyes squinting through the rain-speckled windshield as the headlights carved through the murky night. He glanced at the time of the dash. Saturday, 1:47 a.m. Barely anyone else on the road, not a soul in sight. Just him and the forest pressing in on either side. He was supposed to be on a trip of liberation, a fresh start. Just him and the open road. A chance to get away and maybe, just maybe, find some direction. Instead, his nerves were kicking in. That familiar buzzing anxiety that no amount of deep breaths could ease. Okay, just breathe, he muttered, keeping one hand steady on the wheel. Just a little farther. Cabin's just a few miles up ahead, and you'll finally get some shut-eye. He flinched as lightning split the sky, illuminating the dark landscape. Trees that had been little more than murky outlines were suddenly thrown into sharp relief. Twisting branches and gnarled trunks that seemed to shift and stretch in the storm's light. Come on, just keep it together. It's just some rain, man. And then he saw it, a flash of movement in the road. He didn't have time to react. Just as he pressed the brakes, his headlights caught the massive, startled eyes of a deer standing dead center in the lane. He yanked the wheel hard, swerving onto the shoulder, tires skidding on the slick asphalt. The car careened off the road, crashing down the embankment, branches snapping, glass shattering as it plunged into the underbrush before slamming to a halt against a tree. Chase's head slammed forward, his seatbelt digging painfully into his shoulder. Everything blurred, colors and sounds swirling together, until he was left with just the echo of his heartbeat thundering in his ears. He blinked, vision clearing slowly. He took a shaky breath, feeling the dull ache of bruises blooming across his chest and arms. Miraculously, he was alive, Every part of him screamed with pain, but he could move. "Damn it," Chase said, his car out of gas, pinned under the weight of the now deflated airbag. Groaning, he fumbled with his seatbelt and pushed the door open, stumbling out of the car into the damp, unfamiliar ground beneath him. The forest around him was dense, looming over him with an eerie quiet. The road was nowhere in sight. Where the hell am I? Chase looked around, his pulse racing as he took in the alien, unnatural beauty of the place. These weren't the normal pines or oaks he'd seen earlier. No, these trees were massive, ancient, and strange, their twisted trunks and sprawling roots woven together in an intricate, almost deliberate way. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of moss and damp earth. Fog rolled in, twisting around his legs, making him feel like he was standing in a waking dream. He pulled out his phone, but there was no signal, just the empty bars mocking him. Silence, broken only by the steady drip of rain tapping against the shattered windshield. Chase sucked in a breath, tasting blood on his lip. He blinked, disoriented, feeling his way around. Miraculously, his legs moved, though every part of him ached as if he had been flattened like an accordion. The ground felt strange beneath him, damp, alive. He looked around and realized the road was nowhere in sight. Nothing surrounded him but towering trees, their branches stretching out like skeletal fingers, sheltering him from the rain yet pressing in, creating a labyrinth of shadows. This isn't right. Where am I? The trees didn't seem like the pines and oaks he'd driven past earlier. These were massive, ancient, like something out of a fairy tale, their trunks gnarled and twisted, roots tangled together in the ground. Fog rolled in, wrapping around his legs and making him feel as if he were floating. A shiver ran down his spine. He reached into his pocket for his phone. No signal. Oh, I am so screwed. I've seen enough horror movies to know where this is heading. The air was unnervingly still, and he realized with growing unease that he wasn't just alone. He was isolated. A shiver crept down his spine as a soft, almost musical hum filled the air, like distant whispers weaving together into an eerie harmony. He couldn't tell where it was coming from, but it felt as if it was calling him deeper into the woods. "Hello?" he called out, voice barely more than a whisper. "Hey, is someone there?" The whispering stopped. The fog thickened, wrapping tighter around his legs, clinging like it was trying to pull him down. Chase took a step back, heart hammering, and turned to look back at his car, only to find a figure standing behind him, shrouded in mist. "Hey there, big guy." the figure said with a grin, sharp teeth flashing. Chase yelped, stumbling backward as the figure came into focus. Am I drunk? Is that a talking jack dog? He was tall. His body was lean and muscular, but there was something unmistakably odd about him. His head was sleek, almost canine, with ears that pointed sharply back, and a jawline that looked like it could snap a log in two. His face bore the markings of a Doberman, yet he wore a friendly grin that was both oddly reassuring and completely unsettling. The figure cocked his head, raising a dark furred brow. What's the matter? Never seen a guy with a dog face before? Chase's mouth opened, then closed. No, not exactly. Not even close. The figure's grin widened. Well, you're in for a treat then. Name's Jax, resident funny man, and apparently your tour guide. He extended a hand, his paw-like fingers flexing. Chase stared at the offered hand, his mind scrambling for something, anything, that made sense. This can't be real. I was just in my car and then the accident. No, it's real all right. Jax gave a deep, exaggerated sigh, patting Chase's shoulder in a comically overdone gesture. You took a wrong turn and ended up in our lovely little forest. Chase's eyes widened. Huh? What do you mean? Where the hell am I? Yep, I have brain damage. 1000%. I mean, this might be a good reason to call in sick next week. I take it you're not on familiar turf anymore. Jax chuckled, his dark eyes gleaming with mirth. You've probably crossed over, big guy. Welcome to, let's call it the Forest of Ether. A bit on the nose, but it's got a nice ring to it, don't you think? Chase took a shaky breath, glancing around the towering trees that loomed over them like silent guardians. No, this isn't happening. I need to get back. There's gotta be a way to get back. Jax shook his head, clucking his tongue. No, it's not that simple. You're here for a reason, and no amount of wishful thinking is going to change that. He paused, cocking his head thoughtfully. But don't worry, I've got all the answers. Well, some answers, and plenty of dad jokes to keep you entertained in the meantime. Chase frowned, confusion mixing with a faint, bizarre sense of amusement. Dad jokes? Oh, I'm full of them. Jax's grin grew wider. You know why we're in a forest, right? Because I thought it was tremendously important to branch out. Chase blinked, momentarily stunned into silence by the sheer absurdity of it all. Jax chuckled, clearly pleased with himself. See, I'm a hoot. And look at you, already feeling better. You'll be just fine. But, okay, bud, I don't understand. Chase stammered, running a hand through his hair. What is this place? How did I end up here? Jax shrugged, as if there were a more mundane situation in the world. Sometimes people just end up here. A wrong turn, a twist of fate, a little cosmic accident. Happens more often than you'd think. Are there others? Chase asked, hope flickering to life. Like people from Earth? Jax hesitated, his eyes softening slightly. Well, I've never heard of Earth. He gestured grandly to the trees around them. But lucky for you, I'm here. And if you're going to make it through this place, you're going to need some guidance. That's where I come in. Chase swallowed hard, feeling a new wave of panic setting in. This is insane. I can't just be stuck here. Jax raised a hand, his expression surprisingly serious for once. Hey, listen, big guy, I get it. It's a lot to take in. But trust me, panic's not gonna Panic's not gonna Panic's not gonna help you here. What you need is a plan. And a really good sense of humor. 'Cause things are about to get interesting. Chase took a shaky breath, forcing himself to calm down. A plan? Like what? Simple. Jack spread his hands with a grin. You need to find someone who knows the way out, or at least someone who knows how to survive in this place. Which means we need to find Phoenix. Chase frowned. Phoenix? Who's that? No, she's kind of a big deal around here. Jax's expression softened with a hint of admiration. Phoenix is, well, let's just say she's got some serious know-how when it comes to this forest. Knows every twist, every turn, every shadow. And lucky for her, I'm her personal guardian. He puffed up proudly, thumping his chest with one massive paw-like fist. Chase narrowed his eyes, skepticism creeping back. Why would she help me? Why wouldn't she? Jax gave a dramatic shrug. It's not every day someone from Earth stumbles into her realm. Besides, she's a sucker for lost causes. He winked. And let's face it, you're about as lost as they come. Chase bit his lip, glancing around at the towering trees. This is what I get for leaving my comfort zone. That was chapter 1 of Chasing Phoenix Forever. And this is Anything Goes ASMR. No rules, no limits, just tingles. If you have a recommendation of what you would like me to read next, whether it be a physical copy, an ebook, hardcover, paperback, or to continue reading Chasing Phoenix Forever, please let me know in the comments below, or anything that you have in mind. I am open to absolutely anything.